From America's Heartland, where Interstates 70 and 435 cross, the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series is about to assault the asphalt at Kansas Speedway. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Independence Racing Network. Last week, Mike Wright captured his third checkered flag of the season at Darlington. Now tonight, he looks to hold off Bobby Blazer and fan favorite Dakota Cave here in Kansas City, Kansas. I'm Dave Regal, and I'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, on the Independence Racing Network, proudly presented by Northeastern Fire and Air. And qualifying underway has been going on just about 90 seconds now, as it appears Jarrett Small has netted P1 so far, as he has laid down a 30.67 in his qualifying effort, but Dakota Cave had just laid down a 30.68, so behind by just 1/100th of a second. Dakota Cave here, of course, in the number 2 machine, as we have seen him all season long. And as I had mentioned a moment ago, a fan favorite, as, of course, I'm looking to see Rebecca Miller in our YouTube live chat cheering on her little boy, Dakota. And, folks, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Glad to have you in tonight. Here on the Independence Racing Network. And welcome into the broadcast booth. Right now, we've got Dakota Cave having edged out Jarrett Small at now a 30.6 even, so above him by 7/100th of a second. However, several powerful drivers have not taken to the track yet, as Zach Osborne is just starting his qualifying effort. We'll take a look at that. And Mike Wright, of course, just finishing his. Wow! Shoots to the top at a 30.58 does Mike Wright. And, of course, Mike sits atop our season standings. So, definitely going to be that kind of a night as, we've got plenty to discuss. Of course, Mike Wright sitting atop the point standings. Bobby Blazer running in second. Dakota Cave in third. Bob Nestor, your Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series commissioner, running in fourth. And John Bawalda, your Tuesday Night Thunder Trucks commissioner, running in fifth. Right now, actually, oddly enough, we do have all three of the series commissioners in the top 6 now, as the 6th position in our season standings here in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series is held by Chris Claude, who is your Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series commissioner. So the commissioners are making a charge here at that top 5 and 6 positions in our season standings. Mike Wright, who was fastest in practice, now fastest in qualifying. And we'll take a look here at our conditions right now here at Kansas Speedway. Right now, of course, an outdoor air temperature of 76 degrees. Of course, we're going to be having a nice night race tonight, as track temperature going to be 77 degrees. So temperature definitely going to affect the grip on this track, as that should grip it up real nice. I mean, one thing that we like to see as race car drivers is, plenty of sticky to the asphalt. You don't want to be slip sliding around out there, especially when you have so many laps to do. And, of course, tonight we have 150 laps for a total of 225 total miles. And here in the Monday Night NASCAR Series, we do have stage breaks. Of course, Stage 1 tonight will end at lap 40, Stage 2 at lap 90, and then Stage 3, our final stage, ending at lap 150. Monday Night NASCAR is brought to you by our fine friends over at Butt Kicker and RS Button Boxes. And with just a few minutes left in qualifying, we will go and hear from our good friends over at Butt Kicker.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
In 2007, Ray Regal had a vision of serving his fellow firefighters' breathing air needs better. As a City of Reading firefighter since 1975, he knows the difficulties of finding the best and most affordable service company to care for and manage the most important means of survival firefighters have, breathing air. Northeastern Fire and Air is committed to providing our brothers and sisters with the best service in the industry and at an affordable cost. For more information, call 610-207-6608 for a consultation today and know that you can breathe easy with Northeastern Fire and Air. And welcome back to Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Of course, the more famous Kansas City over there in Missouri. But tonight we are here in Kansas City, Kansas at this 1.5-mile track that, of course, you know, we do have a couple of, there is an infield road course that is available, but of course we don't race there. Track length is disputed by the two major series that run here at Kansas. NASCAR Timing and Scoring use a length of 1.5 miles, while the IRL uses a track length of 1.52 miles. And, you know, I guess maybe as we're sitting here thinking about what is 200th of a mile? You know, I guess that matters, and maybe for the IRL it does, but for us, we like a nice round number here. And in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, as we're watching tonight, your qualifying record holder is Mr. Matt Kenseth, who in 2015 laid down a 29.204 on October 16th, 2015. So, you know, I'll tell you what, he's definitely... That's faster by about 1.3 seconds than Mike Wright. So not the day, at least as far as that goes. However, we will be watching here as Jeff Green on September 29th, 2001, so just 2 weeks after September 11th, 2001, Jeff Green runs the fastest full race time at 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 24 seconds with an average lap speed, which is strange, of 129.125 mile an hour. But of course, you know, different animal once you're racing live. Speaking of racing live, we take a look at Zachary Vaughn in the number 91 Chevrolet as he is out here laying down his lap times. Of course, the HendrickCars.com, and we'll check out the front here. I mean, just a really nice paint scheme overall. These drivers take such good care of their paint schemes, and they want to make sure that they're representing their sponsors well. And Zach Vaughn, no different than any of them, as he is just trying to make sure that he's representing HendrickCars.com. Corey Burkett in the number 13. You see him in the EOL boys paint scheme here. Or the old boy. Well, that's kind of interesting. We'll take a look here on the side, and you can see that it says EOL boys, but of course it's, well, he gave that one a shot. We'll just say he gave it a shot. But, you know, trading paint's not for everybody. But you will see some really cool paint schemes out there tonight as Zachary Vaughn wrapping up his qualifying effort, and Corey Burkett doing the same. Matthew Helm, Carlos Ramos, and Jeff O'Rourke, the only three drivers who have not laid down a qualifying time tonight with about 40 seconds left, so I don't believe that we will see those three drivers out qualifying this evening. And, of course, you are watching the Independence Racing Network on YouTube.com. We are the exclusive broadcast provider of Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing. And if you are watching us over on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications so that you can be reminded every Monday night when we are live, bringing you the absolute finest in Xfinity Series Racing. And one thing that I do want to talk about, speaking of the finest in Xfinity Series Racing, we'll bring that up here in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Next week, we head to Texas Motor Speedway for 167 laps. Then we have an off week on May 30th. Then June 6th, we go to Portland. Now, that's still possible. We're not entirely sure yet. But drivers gridding right now, so we're going to bring that to you, as we don't want to miss that at all. And let's take a look at that all-important starting grid. Mike Wright sits atop the pile in P1. netting that pole. Dakota Cave on the outside of row 1 in the number 2 Toyota. Row 2 made up of Jarrett Small and Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series Bob Nestor. Brandon Minto and Bobby Blazer make up row 3. Row 4 is R.P. Allen and Eugenio Alonso. Row 5, Michael Overstreet and Kavaja Holt round out your starting top 10. Jeff Carson and Clayton Davis make up row 6. Row 7 is going to be Bennett Allen and Aaron Mack. Jack Ritchie and Ian Humphreys in the number 32 Toyota Supra making up row 8. Row 9 is Brad Gunn and Frederick Seagraves Jr., while Chad Sanner and Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series Commissioner Chris Claude in the number 10 Dasani Toyota Supra make up row number 10. Row number 11 is Doug Argabright. That just shifted everywhere. And Zach Osborne. J.B. Banner and Zachary Vaughn make up row 12. Matthew Helm, Carlos Ramos, and Jeff O'Rourke make up rows 13 and 14. And starting shotgun on the field is Corey Burkett in the number 13 Ford, as he is still down in the pits. Not sure why he is sitting there, but hopefully he gets that act together. So right now, that iRacing.com pace car, those lights are out. Those lights are not out, so we will have some time here just to run through the field. And, of course, you know, we are taking a look here at Mike Wright, the Greensboro, North Carolina native, your Monday Night NASCAR Point Series leader. And Bobby Blazer, of course, as we had mentioned earlier, running in second position from York, Pennsylvania in his number 90 Ford. Now, Dakota Cave currently running, he's starting P2. He is position 3 in the point standings. You know, and to be completely honest, I think Dakota Cave has a chance as we move through the night and the next couple of weeks here to really start to close in on Blazer and, of course, Mike Wright as well. Bob Nestor starting here in 4th position in the number 29 Relative Properties Toyota Supra from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Glad to have Bob with us as always, as he has put together one heck of a series here as the iRacing.com pace car lights are out. We are going to get ready for the drop of the green flag. Drivers waiting, everybody getting just a little bit anxious as we come to the green flag right now. The man in the flag stand is working his way to the edge as he probably grabs a hold of that green flag, the handle there in his hand, popsicle sticks in the air as the iRacing.com pace car leaves the field, dives down pit road. Everybody checks their belts, checks their mirrors. Well, folks, grab some popcorn, call your friends, and settle in, because we are just about now green flag racing at Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Mike Wright jumps out to an early lead. He was just going at it side by side with Jarrett Small, but Small kind of backing off here as Dakota Cave working the outside of Small. As we come through turn 4, it looks like Mike Wright will lead that first all-important lap. But right now, we are all kinds of tight running through the rest of the field as we can see Jarrett Small sucking up toward R.P. Allen in the 03. I'll tell you what, that car looking like it's supposed to be snapping loose on him as number 90 Bobby Blazer here in his Ford machine working the low side of Brandon Minto. Further back in the field, we see Eugenio Alonso in the number 86 securing 20th position away from Zachary Vaughn. And right now, the 16 car of Zach Osborne chasing Chad Sanner in the 59 as they are 3 wide with the 97 of Carlos Ramos on the high side. The 16 on the low, the 59, the meat in this sandwich. Oh, and they make contact! The 16, the 59. Everything is all kinds of mayhem, and we are going to take a look back at that for sure, as we are most assuredly under the caution flag. And we're taking a look here at the 59, and we see the 59 of Sander just making his way into the side of the number 16, driven by Zach Osborne. We're going to slow that down nice and easy here as we see the two of them just make contact. You know, I got to be honest, even from this position up here, I'm not sure if the 59 came down. And we're going to take a look at this real nice and slow this time. As, yep, it looks like the 59 just comes down into the 16, almost like you didn't see him there. Turns the heck out of him in the EOL boys car. And then, of course, the byproduct is that he whacks into the side of the number 25 of Matthew Helm. And all the mayhem, if you will, breaks loose as now the 38, Doug Argabright, whacks into Chad Sander as he has just become, at that point, a pinball dropping through the machine. So that'll shuffle things up toward the rear of this field tonight. But, you know, right here atop the pile, Mike Wright, Dakota Cave, and R.P. Allen sit your top three. Jarrett Small, the number 17 Chevrolet, just behind the three of them. Brandon Minto, rounding out your top five with Bobby Blazer in six. Bob Nestor, who's now back 3 positions from where he had qualified in 7th position. Kavaja Holt in the 00, running in 8th position. Michael Overstreet, teammate of Bob Nestor, in the number 39. So, of course, let's keep an eye on those two Toyotas, the 39 and the 29. And Aaron Mack in the number 31 Toyota. So it's littered with Toyotas. Looks like there are 5 Toyotas up here to 3 Fords and 2 Chevrolets in the top 10. So definitely kind of interesting there is, you know, a lot of times we see it the other way around where it seems like there's more Chevys and not near as many Fords in so many different leagues. It's almost like the Ford popularity has just died off. Hey, Becky, good to see you there in the YouTube.com live chat for the Independence Racing Network. There she is, cheering on her boy, Dakota Cave, in the number 2 machine. Of course, so far, it looks like there's several of you watching. Glad to have you in with us tonight on the Independence Racing Network, brought to you by Northeastern Fire and Air, RS Button Boxes, and Butt Kicker. As the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series has heated up now as we are in week number 13. Of course, you know, in the iRacing.com public service, week 13 is horrifying, and hopefully we won't be having that same problem here tonight at Kansas Speedway. But the iRacing.com pace car has turned its lights out, which means we will be getting ready to go back green once again here. And we see him dive down pit road. That field double file ready to rock and roll. Mike Wright, with control of the field, jumps out to the lead. We are back green flag racing at Kansas. And we see Jarrett Small in the number 17 Chevrolet getting passed now by the 03 of R.P. Allen, as R.P. Allen now putting Dakota Cave in his sights. And we see Dakota Cave holding that second from the top line. And I know that in the Cup Series, if you get stuck in one lane, you know, you don't really have the momentum to, you know, go out there and pick up any speed. So I'm afraid that the 03 of R.P. Allen going to have that speed to get around Dakota Cave here in the next little bit, as he's trying to secure the position but has yet to be able to do it. But right now they are side by side. Not real tight, though. Plenty of room given by R.P. Allen as he secures the spot away from Dakota Cave. Dakota Cave now holding off Bobby Blazer, and of course Blazer trying to get around Cave, as Dakota Cave is behind Blazer in the season standings, and they know that, believe you me, as they are out here duking it. Right now, Brandon Minto, we're about to go 3 wide with Dakota Cave. Oh, almost the meat in that sandwich between Brandon Minto and Bobby Blazer, but Dakota Cave holding his ground And Chris Watkins pulling for all the EE Sports drivers. So, Chris, glad to have you here tonight. Glad to have you in. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hope you enjoy the race. As, right now, if you have any questions, you probably could ask Becky Miller, as she has been with me for the last 13 weeks, basically, every Monday night here on the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. Mike Wright opening up a 0.4 of a second lead over top of R.P. Allen. And Jarrett Small in the number 17 Chevrolet in third. So things starting to settle out and go single file here. And, I got to be honest with you folks. I know that, maybe single file racing is not something that you find too exciting, so to speak. But, when it comes to developing that good long green flag run, that's the only way to do it right. As we are looking back here in the left side of your screen, the 32 car of Ian Humphreys getting passed by Bennett Allen in the number 3, kind of like I've heard a lot of people hating on that because it's a Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr. paint scheme there in the 3 car. But now Carlos Ramos chasing down Bennett Allen in the 32, and just ahead of them, looks like we're starting to see this knot of cars. Whoa, the 86 getting into the back of the 17 just a tad, as Jarrett Small has dropped back significantly as he was just up front. But we see Bennett Allen chasing down Jeff Carson. And Jeff Carson now the meat in that 3-wide sandwich as, oh, wow, the 3 car gets loose just as that air comes off the left rear quarter of the number 9 Napa machine driven by Jeff Carson. And it looks like Carson holding his ground fairly well, as he is that kind of a driver. He's not going to be put to bed early tonight, as his night was wrecked last night in Cup Series. Tonight, you can pretty much bet he is going to be working his tail off. And right now, Jarrett Small sitting in the middle of this 3-wide mess as the 80 car of Frederick Seagraves Jr. now slides behind him, and they go back single file as Eugenio Alonso in the number 86 Chevrolet leads Jarrett Small and Frederick Seagraves Jr. in this tiny pack here. One of the things that you start seeing, especially as the race progresses, is that these cars are going to get single file, but you'll see individual battles, so a race within a race, if you will, just like now here in the left side of your screen, the number 44 of Clayton Davis working his way past the 32 of Ian Humphreys and manages to secure that. Now John Bawalda in the number 51 Chevrolet chasing down the 36 of Brad Gunn, and right here in the middle in the number 48 Chevrolet is Jeff O'Rourke. And these drivers, I'll tell you what, folks, they're going at it pretty tough pretty early here, as we are just 15 laps of 150 marching our way toward lap number 40 here in stage 1. Oftentimes, especially in stage 1, a lot of drivers will be out here basically just testing the water, so to speak. They don't want to be out here beating the bejesus out of the car, as, we've got a very long time to go. And, quite frankly, we get to a point where it just seems like they're going at it. Sometimes you feel like they need to, and other times it feels like they don't. And right now on lap 16, it's just not necessary. As here we are with Carlos Ramos getting banged around here. And I got to say, that's looking a little dangerous. These cars are all kinds of bunched up, but, and this is where our problem is going to be. But as you look here toward the front, these cars from our new race leader, R.P. Allen, back through Dakota Cave and so on, I mean, they're pretty much single file, running their line, keeping it all in step. But then you come back here, and these cars, this is just a hornet's nest, and those hornets are ready to sting at any moment. Brendan Honeycutt driving is calling out to the number 39, telling him to keep it clean. And we'll take a look at the 39, of course, of Michael Overstreet. Got to be honest, I haven't seen Michael Overstreet be a dirty driver, Brendan, but that's your word against mine. I just sit here and calls it like I sees it, so I'll take your word for it. But there's definitely a lot of racing to go. And Becky Miller, of course, coming back with not everyone is a clean driver. And that's absolutely right. One of the things that we see is it's not that they're dirty drivers. I don't like to use the term dirty driver just because it puts a negative connotation. It's just that some drivers are out-talented by other drivers. You know, there's simply someone better than them, and it's by no fault of their own. And speaking of better than them, looks like John Bawalda III, your Tuesday Night Thunder Trucks Series commissioner, thinks he is better than the number 17 of Jarrett Small, as they are going to be exchanging words and paint here, side by side, crossing the start-finish line on lap number 19, as Bawalda getting the advantage over Jarrett Small. And, you know, Jarrett Small is down several positions from whence he started, as he had started up in third position and now running in 16th. So I'm guessing, and this is purely a guess, that perhaps something is wrong with the number 17 Chevrolet, and maybe we'll have a chance to talk to him later on in the race. But right now, your race leader is R.P. Allen, being chased down by Mike Wright. Just a quarter of a second separating these two drivers here on lap number 20 of 150. So just about halfway through stage one here, as Mike Wright leaves Brandon Minto with a 1.37 gap. So right now it looks like the two strongest drivers out here are going to be Allen and Wright, as Minto and Blaze are going to be going at it here with the 31 of Aaron Mack just behind the two of them. Then we look back here to Eugenio Alonso, the battle for 7th and 8th, as Michael Overstreet making his way around Eugenio Alonso and securing away 8th position. Overstreet chasing down Kavaja Holt in the 00 blue oval Ford, and Kavaja, one of those drivers that he is definitely going to be taking his time this evening. Is, you know, he is a setup wizard himself, and out here, you know, getting things settled in and dialed in, as he doesn't want to make a mistake. You know, hey, make a change now at the end of stage one. If it doesn't work out, you have, you know, to the end of stage two to get that figured out and sorted. But right now, it looks like Michael Overstreet going to be overtaking the 00, as these two drivers going at it pretty hot and heavy, and it's almost as if Overstreet thinks maybe he can get just a slight draft. Whoa, and he gets a heck of a run over Holt here. Over Holt, Overstreet, overrun, overtaken, as we are going over the start-finish line, as these two drivers are neck and neck battling it out for 7th and 8th position, are Kavaja Holt and Michael Overstreet. And I'll tell you what, this is a heck of a battle right now. We don't want to peel our eyes away from it, to be honest with you folks, because I can't get enough of this one. I mean, this is 3 laps now where they have been side by side. Nobody giving up any space, and now it looks like Overstreet's going to use Dakota Cave as a pick and see if he can get the momentum that he needs to get around Kavaja, and Kavaja now drifting up behind Overstreet, thinking better of coming out of his line, as he is going to regroup and allow Overstreet by. So Michael Overstreet getting the job done, as Kavaja Holt now going to be chasing him with Dakota Cave hot on their heels. John Bawalda III chasing down Jarrett Small and Bob Nestor. Bob, of course, driving the number 29 Relative Properties Toyota Supra. And Bawalda looking to chase him down. Nestor sliding up to the wall, holding on to that position, as we can see Jarrett here taking the apron advantage, as it does get you a little bit of time. It allows you just a little bit longer of a front stretch. Whoa, we see Eugenio Alonso there on the low side. I'm guessing there was something wrong with him. We'll take a look. And we're taking a look here at Eugenio Alonso. And, you know, quite frankly, he was coming through here out of turn 4, and we see Dakota Cave just drifting up the track. And Alonso not turning his wheel to get out of the way and does not give up that spot, but obviously we see him just crunch that outside wall. And, of course, that leads us to where we are now. So with 27 laps complete, we do see R.P. Allen coming down pit road, and he will be followed by Kavaja Holt, Dakota Cave, Clayton Davis, Jarrett Small, Bob Nestor, and Jack Ritchie, as it looks like these drivers here think that maybe they can get positioned a little better for the next stage of this race, as we are on lap number 28 now of 150. So just about 11 laps to go here in stage number 1 at Kansas Speedway. But that will put Mike Wright back to the top of the leaderboard, as, of course, Dakota Cave way down through Jeff O'Rourke are all down pit road. And we will see what looks to be R.P. Allen getting out of there first. And we should see Dakota Cave coming next. Looks like the race off of pit road going to be pretty standard, as it looks about like they're going to be coming out the same way they went in. Maybe a couple of changes just due to some damage repair, from normal scuffles and kerfuffles out here on the racetrack. But that doesn't change the way things are going to be for Mike Wright and Bobby Blazer, as they should have just about 10 laps to go at it when we come back green. So some fun Kansas facts, as we don't really come here, except for, this race here in the spring and, of course, one in the fall. State motto of Kansas is Ad Astra per Aspera, which, of course, that is Latin for to the stars through difficulties. And, of course, quite a difficult race and struggle tonight that we're going to have, as these drivers, now just about 1/5 of the way through this race, are duking it out. But, they're working their way to the stars, getting through these difficulties. Of course, the official nickname of Kansas is the Sunflower State. Apparently, they're a huge producer of sunflowers, also known as the Wheat State, or, as was mentioned in our show open several laps ago, was America's Heartland. Of course, right here, middle of the country. And, I got to be honest, it's kind of an interesting state, especially because Kansas City, for some reason, is also in Missouri. But this Kansas City and Kansas City, Missouri, not exactly neighbors. And I don't understand why. It's just the way it is. I mean, oddly enough, it's almost like it would be better suited to be the Twin Cities, as they're really only separated by a little bit of distance here by I-70, just 8 minutes, 9 minutes. It's almost like one city in two states. So not really sure why that is, or why they couldn't just maybe either change city names. I don't know. It's very strange. Of course, Kansas City, Missouri, home, of course, of the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, and favorite football team of my late stepfather. And, always glad to be thinking about Kansas City and Arrowhead Stadium when we're in this neck of the woods. iRacing.com pace car getting ready to dive down pit road, as we are about to go back green flag racing here. Mike Wright leads the field, and we are back going green on lap number 31. So 10 laps to go here in stage number 1, as it is quite a mess of cars back here further on in the field. And we'll take a look around Zach Osborne, the 92 of JB Banner, Now we see RP Allen, who did just come down pit road, getting around John Bawalda with relative ease. Going to be held up by the 16, my goodness, of Zach Osborne, as Zach Osborne just took all of that momentum, and now RP Allen not able to get around Osborne. And to be honest, Osborne doesn't have to give that spot up. Right now, as long as RP Allen can't get around him, the 16, he needs to be careful. Wow, he almost got himself tied up there. That sends Bawalda down. I understand Osborne trying to hold on to that spot, but right now he's better off just seating. Whoa! The 3 gets into the 51. Now the 51 trailing down onto the apron. We will take a look back as we are still green flag racing. And I got to be honest, as we look here at the 3 car on the high side of John Bawalda in the number 51, he just comes down, whacks Bawalda in the right front of his nose, and sends him down to the apron. As Bawalda gets himself back underway, that still is not a good feeling to have, especially in the closing laps of stage 1. But Bobby Blazer now working the low side of Mike Wright, as Mike Wright's lead over Blazer has evaporated. Still keeping a close eye on RP Allen, who's coming up through the field like a bat out of the proverbial hell, as if this was a Meatloaf album. Now, RP Allen just dive-bombed right in front of Jack Ritchie as he secures that. Right now, we're just kind of watching his progress as he works his way back up to that front row kind of area, as he is looking to secure, of course, more bonus points here for the end of the stage. RP Allen now putting the 44 of Clayton Davis in his crosshairs, as they may do better off here with just 6 laps to go in the stage to work together to get around Mike Wright and Bobby Blazer, and then RP Allen can go ahead and get after the 44. Of course, that pushes the 44 to the top of the pack, and, you know, both of those cars with fresh tires leave Wright and Blazer in the dust, as now Bennett Allen, who of course had just finished dumping the 51, it's almost like Dale Earnhardt himself sitting behind the driver's wheel here, has now worked his way up to 3rd. But I got to be honest, if I'm Clayton Davis, I don't want a rear view mirror full of RP Allen after what I just saw him battle all the way through the field to get to this point, now running in P2. I mean, wow. What kind of a comeback is that after you come out of the pits, you know, getting fresh tires, of course, which obviously has made all the difference here with 5 laps to go in stage number 1. The 44 drifting up toward the 03. But the 03 not giving up any real estate, as now it appears that Bennett Allen wants to take the same route that the 03 did, maybe draft off of him, try to work together, but it looks like he just got hung out to dry on the outside as he's trying to draft up to the 03, but just can't get it done at this stage in the race. Bennett Allen trying to chase down RP Allen. I'm not sure if there's a relation there, but we'll check that out and see if we can find out later. As it looks like RP getting a good run and getting down here against that inside yellow line on the apron, inside white line on the apron, as he has now safely secured the lead away from Bennett Allen. The battle far from over further back in the field as Brad Gunn passes Michael Overstreet for 11th position, leaving Overstreet in 12th and being chased himself by Carlos Ramos. Ramos getting ready to dive under him and try to secure that 11th position now. But we're about to watch Brad Gunn also at the same time trying to take on Brandon Minto. Action all over the racetrack tonight, as it appears the 10 of Chris Claude is chasing down the 16 of Zach Osborne. But I don't see him closing in there just yet, as at the end of lap number 40, we should see that caution flag fly to end the stage. And at the end, it looks like R.P. Allen going to be your Stage 1 winner. Once that 10th place car crosses, we should have the caution. There it is. That freezes the field. And, of course, these drivers now who finished in our top 10 will be receiving those all-important bonus points for the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series point standings. R.P. Allen, your Stage 1 winner in the 03 Toyota Supra. Jack Ritchie in the number 41, just behind him, finishes second. Bennett Allen in third. Clayton Davis and Jarrett Small round out the top five. Kavaja Holt in the 00 Blue Oval Ford finishes sixth. Dakota Cave in seventh. Mike Wright, your points leader, in eighth. Bobby Blazer in ninth. And Brad Gunn rounds out the top 10, receiving those bonus points here in the number 36 Chevrolet of the EOL boys. So quite an exciting end to Stage 1, as there was a little drama there with the late pit stop on lap 27. And we're going to see in just a few moments here what everybody decides to do. R.P. Allen, Dave Regal up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, listen, great run there in Stage 1 as you came in there on lap 27, got some fresh shoes, blew through most of the field to get that green and white checkered flag at the end of the stage. How's that car feeling tonight?
It's all right. It's pretty balanced right now. I feel like I can actually compete with like the super high I-rating guys. I still think they're going to be able to beat me in the long run, so I'm a little scared, but I'm glad I got some points.
Yeah, I mean, those bonus points there, I mean, you just got 10 of them rung right up there for the season standings, so you should be pretty comfy there. And, you know, as you start to make your climb through the point standings, what are you looking to do here for Stage 2? Are we going for another green and white checkered flag, or have you made any adjustments to the car?
I made a few adjustments, but right now I'm kind of scared on tires. So try to save, get to the stage, and be right back with the guys for Stage 3.
All right, man. Well, listen, like I said, congratulations on that stage win, and we'll get you back up there to your team Discord, brother.
All right, thank you, guys.
That was your Stage 1 winner, R.P. Allen, and glad to have him with us, as it's not often that we have enough time here over the last couple of weeks to get a hold of those stage winners, as we've had some shorter tracks. We've had a little bit of drama at the end of several of our stages. So tonight, a little easy going, as that was an introduction there to R.P. Allen, who's fairly new to this season and a rookie overall in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. And just for right now, we will step aside and go side by side and hear from our good friends over at Butt Kicker.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back to Kansas Raceway here, Kansas Speedway here in Kansas City, Kansas, just a few miles away, a short drive away from Kansas City, Missouri, as the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series is about to go back green flag racing on what will be lap number 46, working our way to lap number 90. For stage number 2, Jack Ritchie is going to be your leader when we come back to green. Jarrett Small in P2. Frederick Seagraves, Dakota Cave, and R.P. Allen going to round out your top 5. Clayton Davis, Bobby Blazer, Mike Wright, Brandon Minto, and Michael Overstreet round out the top 10 as we are getting ready to go back green. Looks like Jack Ritchie takes off, gets a heck of a jump over Jarrett Small, and I have to be honest, I think we're going to see somebody like Jarrett Small, as now it looks almost like Dakota Cave getting a run on Small, as everybody except for Jack Ritchie came into pit. It looks, actually I lie, Jack Ritchie and Jarrett Small both, along with Frederick Seagraves Jr., did not come into pit. They were all in at lap 27. So 15 lap older tires, as Ritchie and Small going to have to play some defense here, as Ritchie has jumped out to 0.6 of a second lead, but Small being chased down by Dakota Cave, and I'm pretty sure that Jarrett Small must owe some milk money to Dakota Cave, as it looks like Dakota Cave going to be squeezing P2 away from Small. Whoa! Looks like the 03 of R.P. Allen, your stage 1 winner, getting loosened by Bobby Blazer. And, just like R.P. was saying, he was talking about drivers with higher I ratings, so on and so forth. Hey, listen, any given Sunday, or in this, whoa! I'll tell you what, he better start trying to be careful here, as going after Bobby Blazer and Mike Wright that aggressively is going to get you, it's going to get you burned here in the race, especially as we are so early on, and as he just parallel parks between Jarrett Small and Bobby Blazer, the 03 does. Bobby Blazer working the high side over top of Dakota Cave, who wisely stays where it's safe. Quite frankly, Trevor Jenkins giving a shout out to Clayton Davis in our YouTube live chat, as well as the Gaming Chef, cheering on the 80 car of Frederick Seagraves Jr., saying that Seagraves got this. Leo Bonacasa, yo Leo! Glad to have you here in the YouTube live chat, cheering on the 23XI boys. So YouTube live chat getting heated up here. Third place, let's go. Kansas City, Utah. I feel like I should look that up, but is that a trick? Don't do that to me. But things heating up in this piece as we're taking a look at Zach Osborne of the number 16 Chevrolet. Toyota Supra. We now have a almost three wide situation. There we go, with Michael Overstreet working the middle there of the 41 of Jack Ritchie. Jack Ritchie now being shuffled back, as like we said a few minutes ago, 15 lap older tires, obviously not able to hold on to it as far as that lead was concerned. But now R.P. Allen sits atop the pile once again. Our stage 1 winner, now the 31 of Aaron Mack, working the low side of Overstreet, as it looks like if he can just get a little bit better of a run, drift up in front of Overstreet, he could really wind up with some good momentum here. Kavaja Holt in the 00 Blue Oval Ford getting ready to pass Frederick Seagraves Jr. Seagraves looks there in the Gaming Chef Chevrolet. Ooh, that's a hard one to say. Gaming Chef Chevrolet. Looks like he's trying to keep that clean. And you know what? At this stage in the race, there's nothing wrong with keeping it clean, because as I just so happened to learn last night, if you keep it clean early on, you'll be there at the end. And especially here at a place like Kansas Speedway. And right now, J.B. Banner working the inside of Kavaja Holt, trying to secure away the 18th position, as Banner getting ready to go through that next timing window. We should see him securing 17th position now over top of Kavaja. John Bawalda here in the number 51 Chevrolet, of course, going after Kavaja Holt, but quite a distance between the two of them, just about a full half second between the two of them. Full half, I guess. How about a round half second, as it's just about 0.48 seconds between the two of them. And we do see Chris Claude, your Sunday night NASCAR Cup Series commissioner, chasing down his teammate, of course, one of his Joe Gibbs Racing employees over there on that team, in Jeff Carson. Jeff Carson had his night ended very early last night in Cup Series. Seems to have some momentum back tonight, as Carson, although has dropped 4 positions, has kept it clean and is being extremely competitive tonight. So glad to see that. And just taking a look up here at our leader, R.P. Allen, way ahead of Mike right now by almost 3/4 of a second. And just behind the two of them, behind Bobby Blazer, we see quite a fight breaking out here between Overstreet and Mack. Folks, if you're just joining us watching on YouTube.com, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Make sure that you're subscribing to the Independence Racing Network, the exclusive broadcast provider of Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series action here on YouTube.com. And looks like Austin Story cheering on the number 31. The 31 driven. Whoa, where'd he go? He just disappeared off my timing. There he is. Aaron Mack. And Aaron Mack out here getting it done so far, as he is up 9 positions from where he started. Josh, and I'm assuming that's Josh Ward. Yo, Josh. Cyclone Motorsports cheering them on. Can't lose if you don't race. That's true, Josh, but I'd much rather see out here going at it hammer and tongs. Where's that pitchfork? And listen, man, if you want to come hang out in the broadcast booth, you're more than welcome to. Then we see the Mountain Durr 42, the Grow Propel Motorsports. Then we have the official Dependa cheering on Aaron Mack, the gaming chef, of course, with a fork and knife. Mountain Durr, the commish. First-time viewer, long-time Mack fan. Hopefully our boy wins tonight. Let's get him, brother, says the official Dependa. And Mountain Durr says, go Aaron Mack. So, obviously, Aaron Mack, big following tonight from Austin Story through the Mountain Durr and what appears to be the official Dependa. And if somebody could fill me in on what the Dependa is, that'd be great. Thank you for the compliment there, Mr. Gaming Chef. Appreciate you. This is absolutely a blast to do every night. As you know, I got to be honest with you folks. I used to be a Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series regular. Made it into the playoffs last year. But you know what? Broadcasting is probably where it's safer. For those of you who race with me on a Sunday night in Cup Series, sometimes I can be a headache out there. As you know, I get a little full of myself. Right, Josh? Josh, if you're listening, just make sure. And, of course, Austin Story would know that as well. So I'm less of a danger here in the broadcast booth, and it's a lot more fun. You know, it's a lot less stressful up here. So thank you for that compliment. I appreciate you very much. As we're taking a look, whoa, at the 92 of J.B. Banner in that Columbia Chevrolet. And right now he has about a half-second distance between himself and Clayton Davis. And Clayton Davis looking like he's trying to chase down Chris Claude. And Chris Claude is one of those drivers, like I was just saying earlier, you know, especially at a place like Kansas here, keep that car clean, because come the end of this race, you'll be there. You know, it may not be top 5, it may not be, you know, top 8, but top 10, top 12, top 15. And speaking of which, there's Chris Claude in 15th. Chris Claude is absolutely Mr. Consistency when it comes to running around any racetrack. You know, you don't have to be the fastest. You have to be the most consistent. You have to be the smoothest. And any of these drivers will tell you that, you know, especially any of these drivers who have been around this league for a long time. And, you know, the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series League has been getting more competitive over the, you know, last year and a half now. And, you know, part of the other reason why it's better off that I'm sitting up here in the broadcast booth is, you know, we have the likes of Bobby Blazer, you know, who are, and Mike Wright out here just killing it. And, you know, looking forward to some new members of the league who are going to bring, you know, as we go through time, it's almost like the league keeps improving itself unintentionally, which is great. It's organic. And it's just really exciting to see the way that this league has developed over the last 2 years. Jeff Carson in the number 9 Napa Toyota Supra. Of course, Napa, not the normal sponsor on a Toyota there, but, you know, Jeff Carson, of course, in his real-life day job does work as some kind of a regional position for Napa Auto Parts. So just know that when you're there at Napa buying those windshield wipers, maybe an alternator, fuel pump, whatever you're getting, that you're supporting someone whose recreation is here on iRacing.com. I mean, you know, one of the things that I think we need to remember as racers is that, hey, appreciate you, Josh, thanks. One of the things, you know, here on iRacing is this isn't real life. You know, we can't always be taking it so seriously as, you know, this is more like a vacation from reality for so many of us. As Dakota Cave sliding down in front of Ian Humphreys in the number 32. You know, so people like Jeff Carson who work all day at a real day job, or myself, Bob Nestor, any of us, you know, all of us pretty much have real day jobs. This is a really nice escape, and to be with these drivers week in and week out, day in and day out, it's relaxing. You know, even when it's stressful, it's relaxing. I realize that sounds like an oxymoron, but that's just the way that it is. And now we see the 44 of Clayton Davis getting around Jack Ritchie, as Ritchie still has not come into pit, last coming in on lap number 27, as we are now on lap 67 of 150. I'm not sure, and perhaps someone can clarify that for me. I don't think he can make it that full 90 laps. He's going to have to come in and get fuel at some point, and I guess maybe he's counting on some kind of a caution here late in stage number 2 as we are at lap 68. Working our way toward lap number 90, and now it looks like Ian Humphreys is going to be working the inside of Dakota Cave. Dakota Cave here on the outside. Looks like he is going to just be generous here and give that spot away, that 9th position. Of course, now Dakota going to be playing a little bit of defense in front of the 44 as he doesn't want to lose that bonus point, but looks like he is still going to stay high and allow Clayton Davis around, which maybe Dakota Cave has something else in mind. Leo Bonacasa also cheering on Aaron Mack. And, you know, usually I've got Becky Miller or Rebecca Miller, whichever. Tonight she is Becky Miller, you know, cheering on the number 2 car of Dakota Cave. But looks like everybody's in here cheering on Aaron Mack in the Auto Owners number 31 Toyota Supra. And I'm trying to find out what, maybe somebody can help me out here. The Sherry Strong number 31 Toyota Supra. And, you know, another fantastic paint scheme that we see here. You know, these drivers, week in and week out, a lot of times we see these paint schemes changing, and which is great. You know, at the same time, sometimes it's a little confusing. Nope. Of course, the Auto Owners Insurance sponsorship there. So, you know, these drivers take such good care of their paint schemes, and I know that we have lots of painters, so to speak, in this league alone. Of course, there's a ton of paint shops that you can go to, and they can look that up for you. And I invite you to make sure that you're supporting those people. You know, iRacing is a really unique community, as we have setup builders who are out there, basically race engineers, because, you know, these cars, the adjustments and the chassis setups and things are just like you would see in real life. There are people who go to college for these kind of things, and here you are sitting in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt figuring it out right here from your computer. And to me, that's just a really impressive talent. In fact, I know Josh Ward, who's here in our YouTube live chat, works on setups, as well as Bob Nestor and several other drivers right here in this race alone. You know, of course, there are other drivers like myself who don't have time to sit there and dial a setup in. So we go to people like that who have setup shops or setup know-how. You know, of course, when I'm talking about setup, I'm talking about the way that your chassis is twisted and bent and set up as far as suspension, so on and so forth. You know, to make you go fast, for lack of a better term, or to slow you down if you're a little wild. But, you know, these drivers who are really good, they're always driving on the edge. And it's always exciting to see the drivers that can drive on the edge. Me personally, I need it nice and stable. You leave me nice and stable, we're okay. And, you know, there's several of us, like I said, who have day jobs, families, kids, whatever. And, you know, we don't have time to sit there and dial in a setup. So it's nice when there's people like Josh Ward, Bob Nestor. You can go to, you know, the Jones Racing setup shops. Jones Racing Setups, of course, a proud sponsor of ESPN and Sim Racing Media. You know, Pay to Win. There's so many different, you know, setup shops out there, especially for a league like this where we are what's called open setup, where you can set your car up to however you want it to be. Several leagues, of course, on iRacing have gone to the fixed setup, which leaves a lot more to driver strength because that means that everybody is the same. But here, you know, it is all dependent on how good the engineer was. And I'm going to call it an engineer. You know, these people really are good at what they do. Especially when you consider the iRacing baseline setup, or, you know, I'm not trying to talk trash, but like the majors baseline plus setup, you know, if that's what you're using to base your setup from, great. But, you know, me personally, sometimes it's just not comfortable. And of course, the drivers that are able to figure that out and do, wow, the 41 is just moving up here like a knife through butter on the inside of John Bawalda around Jarrett Small in number 17. And the 41 of Jack Ritchie just out there on a mission, as he has quite clearly come in for fresh tires, and he is looking to make up some ground as we are lap number 76 of 150. And that leaves... Oh, Zach Osborne seems to have gotten himself into a kerfuffle. We'll take a look. Not sure exactly what that's going to be about. Perhaps he had a connection issue, because I see that obviously flashing around. He may have had a connection issue. And it does appear that he did have a connection issue and had to jump to the pits. Of course, you know, very respectful, but speaking of respect, Bobby Blazer working the inside of the number 80 of Frederick Seagraves Jr. Seagraves rubbing the wall just a little as he allows Blazer by. And Blazer now chasing down Mike Wright, as these two going to be going at it with pitchforks and torches all night long almost. As, you know, I got to be honest, they chase each other in the point standings. They chase each other on the racetrack. I mean, this is what NASCAR, this is what racing is supposed to be like. And these drivers, week in and week out, are going at it. And, you know, Bobby Blazer, not exactly for the faint of heart, as he is a strong driver. I mean, so far, this is a great race tonight with 79 laps of 150 in. And just about 12 laps to go now. It's going to be 11 when we come to the line right here to the end of stage number 2. A little bit of a technical difficulty there as I was typing in one window and it decided to hit a hotkey for another. Why not? Mike Wright, your race leader, about to be passed by Bobby Blazer here on lap number 81. And just as that position is secure, we are under caution as R.P. Allen has crashed. We will take a look. R.P. Allen, of course, our Stage 1 winner. And we're going to take a look right here as R.P. Allen rubs the outside wall, goes sideways, and down onto the apron. Whoa! Here comes the wall. Bang! Gets himself spinning around like a top. So probably best, of course, that he does wind up bringing out that caution for himself and for his own sanity. However, that's going to leave Mike Wright a pretty frustrated driver as he was going to battle with Bobby Blazer. Since we do have a few moments, we will hop on over to our race chat and see if we can catch up with some of our other drivers who not usually are in this chat together, but we have a chance here to talk to them. And, folks, we are here on the infield right now as I'm switching out of the booth and onto the infield as a pit reporter with Josh Ward, John Woods, Austin Story, Nicholas Breidenbach, Leo Bonacasa, and Ryan Samuelson. Looks like the Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series posse. Guys, what are you seeing tonight?
A lot of left turns.
Oh, what did you do? Go to the Booger McFarland School of Observation?
Yes, sir.
He's in the Booger Mobile.
Indeed. I graduated. Top of my class.
I'm seeing them 2311 guys doing four-wheel slides up and down the racetrack. It's kind of entertaining. I ain't seeing nobody that's able to put it and sling it around like that compared to on the racetrack.
No,
I saw
I agree, man.
Bennett Allen with a 30-footer down the front stretch.
I think it's a very common thing among the Propel guys as well, especially after watching last night and being part of last night.
One of the things I noticed is that these drivers, there aren't as many snap looses as there were last night in Cup Series. Are you guys picking that up, or is that just me?
These cars are better to drive than the Cup cars.
These cars were more designed for this track.
These cars they got a lot more body roll to them. They can slide up and down the track without really having to worry about you. If you four-wheel slide it inside of the next gen, and you're still on the throttle, you're probably going to load up that diff too much, and that's going to cause you to snap loose, or it's going to put a little bit of different weight on the front and rear ARBs. So it's kind of to be expected, especially with the way that these cars are set up. They got a lot more side force anyway. So, I think it's kind of to be expected whenever you're dealing with Xfinity versus the next gen. They ain't symmetrical.
Ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful southern drawl that you just heard rattle out there like an auctioneer was the voice of Josh Ward, one of the color commentators for Tuesday Night Thunder Trucks. And like I said earlier, basically an engineer himself as he builds these setups pretty much from ground up. And I mean, all of that technical information is something that these guys are working out week in and week out for every racetrack, every different car, and especially because of how different the next-gen cars are in Cup level here to Xfinity Series cars. I mean, these guys have to be really good at what they do. So a tip of the cap to Josh and Austin and you guys who are building your setups, because holy Christmas, what a mess.
I mean, we try. Well, I don't, but Josh does a lot.
I don't. Listen, I'm the first to tell you, I don't have time to be building setups. I just go to buy one.
Hey, you should try buying from Edge Sub Shop.
Oh my god.
TheSimRacingGuys.com.
And that's exactly what I was hoping for.
Money House graphics, yo, hit me up in the Discord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Boston has got some sick car designs.
Got some slick schemes. Yeah.
Listen,
You know it.
everybody, if you're listening to this, make sure that you are checking out Edge Setup Shop and everywhere else that you're hearing right now, because that's what puts a lot of these drivers out here on the track week in and week out, you know, what keeps them going. So that iRacing.com pace car diving down pit road as Bobby Blazer and Michael Overstreet bring the field back. The choose cone has put Bobby Blazer on the high side. He takes off, and Michael Overstreet gets behind him. Gentlemen, I will talk to you guys later. Let's enjoy the rest of the race. Glad to hang out with those guys on the infield as kind of a pit party going on. You know, a lot of these guys, most of us, we've never met. I mean, to be completely honest with you folks, I know Bob Nestor personally from everyday life, and you know, I know John Bawalda as Bob and I had gone to Dover with him, but most of us have never met each other in real life. And iRacing.com, the servers here, have built such a cool community. Wow, speaking of cool, we are 3 wide, now 5. It looks like, oh, and the 00 is turned. We're going to be under caution yet again. We're going to run this all the way back here and see exactly what happened with Kavaja. As first off, you know, the first thing that you notice here is that this is just a very graceful group of cars in one breath. And the very next, you know, you can look and see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars back through John Bawalda, that light blue car there in the middle of the track. Look at how graceful this group is, just moving together, almost like watching, you know, Top Gun. They move, and all of a sudden, it looks like the 31 of Aaron Mack gets up into the 00, and I don't want to be the judge and jury here, but that looks like what may have started this mess. And, of course, Kavaja just standing on that brake and keeping himself. And you guys didn't see a thing of that, did you? Not at all. Let's run this back. My apologies as I didn't hit the button to bring it back in. Now you can see what I was talking about. You're going to watch the 31 of Aaron Mack here on the outside of the 98. Now that 31 is here trailing Kavaja Holt. And we see just that graceful movement, but all at once, all it takes is Aaron Mack to get a little bit into Kavaja, and it just collects that entire rear of the field. And that should be the end of the stage, and we'll see what happens. And I'm not even entirely sure how that's going to round out for, of course, the end of stage number 2. But here we are at the end of stage 2. We are going to go side by side while everybody gets wholesale pit stops and hear from our sponsors and pay some bills.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
In 2007, Ray Regal had a vision of serving his fellow firefighters' breathing air needs better. As a City of Reading firefighter since 1975, he knows the difficulties of finding the best and most affordable service company to care for and manage the most important means of survival firefighters have, breathing air. Northeastern Fire and Air is committed to providing our brothers and sisters with the best service in the industry and at an affordable cost. For more information, call 610-207-6608 for a consultation today, and know that you can breathe easy with Northeastern Fire and Air. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway here on the Independence Racing Network. I'm Dave Regal here at the microphone as we have had one heck of a race tonight in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series here on the Independence Racing Network. Folks, if you're just joining us on YouTube.com, make sure that you're subscribing, turning on those bell notifications. It helps people find us and your friends and family here in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. And glad to have everybody tonight as we were down there on pit road on the infield with a group of great guys from Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series. Of course, Josh Ward, John Woods, Austin Story, Nicholas Breidenbach, Leo Bonacasa, and Ryan Samuelson. As those guys, some really awesome Cup drivers and just a great group of people that I'm proud to take the track with week in and week out. But Choose Cone has been taken. The iRacing.com pace car lights are out. JB Banner and Mike Ryder on row 1. Row 2 going to be Brandon Minto and Michael Overstreet, Bobby Blazer, Clayton Davis, Dakota Cave, Carlos Ramos, Chris Claude, and Jeff Carson round out your top 10 as we are getting ready to go back green flag racing here any moment. Once that iRacing.com pace car gets out of the way so we can be underway here in Kansas City, Kansas. And these drivers getting excited. They're waiting, wiggling, getting those tires cleaned up just a little more here as that foot starts twitching on the throttle, just waiting for the pace car to get out of your way. Mike Wright and JB Banner leading this piece as JB Banner came in on lap number 82, Mike Wright on 88. Looks like JB Banner and Corey Burkett, the only drivers in on lap 82. The iRacing.com pace car goes down pit road. JB Banner has his finger on the button. The 92 takes off, and we are back underway for stage number 3. And that final stage now in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series on the Independence Racing Network. JB Banner is leading Michael Overstreet now, who slides in front of the 98 of Mike Wright. And it looks like Overstreet going to be going at it pretty hard with the 92 on the outside, hoping to get a push from the 98. And Overstreet looking like he is trying to now, we're 3 wide behind him. Overstreet shoots to the bottom, almost 4 wide. This is starting to get scary, folks. There we go. Now we've gone back to 2 wide, something a little bit easier to stomach. As it appears Michael Overstreet leading Bobby Blazer now. So after all of that salad bowl kind of action, everybody getting tossed around like lettuce and tomatoes, has now gotten to where we're single file from Michael Overstreet, Bobby Blazer, and Mike Wright back through Brandon Minto, but now Minto holding off the 92, who of course started off as your leader here in stage 3. But JB Banner not able to hold that on, as I had mentioned. 6-lap older tires on that car, as he is now down on the low side. So just something interesting that I'm learning about the state of Kansas. There are currently 238 species of rare animals and 400 rare plants. And, of course, don't get me wrong, it's not like I know this stuff off the top of my head, folks. I'm reading Wikipedia in between here. But 400 rare plants, and among those include all kinds of cleft ledge, royal fern. I don't even know what that thing is. But common animal species, of course, here in Kansas are crows, deer, lesser prairie chicken. I don't know what a lesser prairie chicken is. Now we're going to learn something here. Lesser prairie chicken. It's a medium to large bird, striped white and brown, slightly smaller and paler than its near relative, the greater prairie chicken. I don't even want to know. What an interesting looking animal. I encourage you to go look at that. But apparently very common in Kansas. as well as prairie dogs, raccoons, the normal stuff. Northern sea oats, another one. Chrysanthemum, okay, fine, chrysanthemums, fine, nothing serious. But Kansas City, of course, the sister city, it kind of bothers me that we call Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, the twin cities, but realistically, it's kind of like Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. It's a 7-minute drive. In fact, I'm literally looking right here. I'm sorry, 8 minutes if you take I-70 right now. Traffic kind of clear. But I guess they had no place with Kauffman Stadium and Arrowhead Stadium there in Kansas City, Missouri, so they had to build the racetrack in Kansas City, Kansas. Or maybe Kansas City, Kansas was just feeling left out. Who knows? But I'll tell you who's not feeling left out right now. Bobby Blazer, as he is working the outside of Michael Overstreet, getting ready to go for the lead. As it looks like Mike Wright more than happy just to let these two go at it in front of him and see if something happens that will open the door for him. Because remember, as these two are battling up front, now chasing down what appears to be John Bawalda, getting ready to put him down another lap. Bobby Blazer going for the lead on the inside of Michael Overstreet. Michael Overstreet with a slight connection issue. They go 3 wide for just a moment. And now Bobby Blazer on the low side, holding his own. We are going to go right there to the nose of this car. We're going to take a look. As Blazer's still trying to chase down Overstreet. Here, as we have now crossed the century mark, it looks like Blazer has decided to back off a piece, as it's probably better just to let Overstreet drive the rest of that car out. But right now, the 44 of Clayton Davis, the meat in this sandwich, as they go 3 wide with John Bawalda holding on to the outside line, trying to stay out of the way as best as he can. As the 31 of Aaron Mack that had caused that wreck just a little bit ago by getting into Kavaja Holt, the 00 Blue Oval Ford, now chasing down the 44 of Clayton Davis. And on the inside of Dakota Cave, of course, Dakota Cave, one of our fan favorites here. Yes, the official Dependa says the infamous Prairie Chickens. Listen, if you're out there and you're listening to the broadcast, have you ever seen a prairie chicken? And if so, do you cook it? Does it have wings? Do you make chicken wings out of a prairie chicken? I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know how to think of it. Just kind of very interesting. I'm bothered by it. At this point, I'm stuck on it. Sometimes I get stuck on stupid, and this is it for the night. But Clayton Davis getting stuck on the bottom here, working the inside of Dakota Cave. And Dakota Cave holding on. Davis goes to the inside, again looking for some momentum. But, when you're still at that door handle, that makes it really tough to get any kind of real estate between you and the other driver. So he definitely had to muscle his way in front of Cave, who it looks like Dakota Cave is probably going to set himself up to do that all over again. We're taking a look now at Brandon Minto chasing down Mike Wright in the number 98. And these two drivers all night long keeping it up, as Brandon Minto up 1 position as he had qualified in 5th. But Mike Wright, who was our pole sitter this evening, and of course our points leader, running in 3rd right now. Still there on the podium, but plenty of race to go as we are on lap 104 of 150 at Kansas Speedway. Fun fact for those of you that have those stickers, bracelets, wristbands, whatever, that say WWJD or What Would Jesus Do? It turns out that the Reverend Charles Sheldon of Topeka, Kansas, was the coiner of the phrase "What would Jesus do?" So, pretty interesting read there about Charles Sheldon, as he was born February 28th, 1857, died in February 24th, 1946. So, almost passing away on his birthday, but quite an interesting article, and he's written several treatises and books and pamphlets, so check that out. Kind of interesting, as sometimes you hear sayings, what would Jesus do, or that's the way she goes or whatever. Sometimes you wonder where that phrase came from, and in this case, we can make it definitive in Charles Sheldon of Topeka, Kansas. Of course, if you're thinking of a summer vacation, whoa! Bobby Blazer just gets one heck of a run on Michael Overstreet. It's either that or Michael Overstreet has had himself a problem. Bobby Blazer just goes past Overstreet as if he was sitting still, coming out of turn number 1, or turn number 3, now to 4 in the tri-oval, holding him back. Mike Wright here on the inside, now the inside of Bobby Blazer, of Michael Overstreet, looking for a way to slide up. Overstreet almost diagonal on the racetrack, trying to hold it steady. So obviously he is smoking those rear tires on the number 39 Toyota Supra. And it looks like he is going to have a heck of a battle as Mike Wright, more than capable of getting this car to turn and corner through there on lap 108 of 150. If you're looking at some summer vacation plans, make sure that you're checking out the California National Historic Trail here in Kansas. Whoa! The 98 getting real close to the 39. I'll tell you what, maybe I shouldn't worry about summer vacation plans and worry more about what happens to Michael Overstreet if Mike Wright decides that he's had enough of trying to fight him here, as now that opens the door for Clayton Davis to work the inside of Mike Wright, gets a run on him, and is going to be able to slide up here on exit and take some more away from Mike Wright and force him up higher. These drivers here, across the... And here we go with Michael Overstreet dive bombing in front of Bobby Blazer now into turn 1, rolling up out of turn 2, regains the lead for himself. I got to be honest. You think to yourself that Cup racing, on Sunday nights is going to be your top echelon, the shiny, fancy cars. But the competition here in the Under Series in Xfinity, it's almost better in some perspectives because, these drivers are clawing their way toward Cup level. It's like when you go to a baseball park, minor league baseball, sometimes AA baseball is the best baseball that you're going to see in the country because these are guys that are trying to make it to AAA. Of course, AAA just a trip away from, your major leagues, but a lot of that jump is between AA and the majors. And here we are in basically AAA, that Under Series to Cup, as these drivers are going at it hammer and tongs all night long, now with Clayton Davis wrestling Michael Overstreet for the lead, as now he gets the run. So these top 4 cars absolutely vicious tonight, as none of them is getting ready to go to bed anytime soon, which I certainly can't blame them at all. The Official Depend, I appreciate you. And if you like hanging out with me on a Monday night, you can hang out with me twice a month on the Way She Goes Racing League. We are off the next 2 weeks, as twice a month they are over on Sim Racing Media and ESPN. I used to be your play-by-play announcer and producer over on Western States Racing League, but that is now being taken over by the great Mike DeMoney, as he is just in a better time slot, as that race doesn't usually happen until 10:15. So if you'd like to hang out with me, make sure that you head on over to ESPN and Sim Racing Media, as, of course, I do also host the Sim Racing Media podcast, The Money Stop, with Tony and Dave, my good friend Tony Trapasso over there, as we are waiting for yet another episode to drop, as it's in the editing room right now, being worked on by Mr. James Riles. And just glad to work with those folks over there, as this is my passion. And now Michael Overstreet being overtaken by Bobby Blazer, sliding back into third. Not sure what's got him so slow, as he was so commanding earlier. Maybe he smoked those tires as hard as he can. It's almost like Willie Nelson's in there smoking them. And Brandon Minto now falling back almost 0.8 of a second, slowing down quite a bit. Maybe trying to cool off for a little while here, as we're on lap 115 of 150, so just about 35 laps to go until the end here at Kansas Speedway. Clayton Davis currently your race leader, but Aaron Mack, what seems to be a fan favorite in the YouTube live chat, up 7 positions from where he had started. But your big mover of the night, Mr. Carlos Ramos. Carlos Ramos from Columbia, South Carolina, state capital there in South Carolina, running in 6th position, up 27 positions from where he had started tonight. So your biggest mover of the evening is Carlos Ramos in the number 97 Toyota Supra. These drivers have worked all night long, and now Aaron Mack working alongside the 41 of Jack Ritchie. Aaron trying to get that 7th position from Ritchie, and Ritchie holding on here. You know, that top line very strong. You're able to keep your foot down on the throttle just a little bit more and have a little bit better of a push. As Nathan Rose is cheering on, let's go oversteer. So I'm assuming that's an inside joke. I can't see behind the curtain on that one for sure. But, glad to have all of you in with us tonight on YouTube, as we've got quite a group tonight. Glad to see all of you in with us and having a blast with you tonight, as we have been down there with our Cup drivers that are basically tailgating there on the infield. I assume that there's some form of amber liquid, perhaps beer of some persuasion, on the infield, and I'm looking forward to having a nice beer at the end of this race, as Clayton Davis, your race leader, leads Bobby Blazer, Mike Wright, Michael Overstreet, and we have a caution here as Jarrett Small is wrapped up in something. We'll take a look. And this is rather unfortunate, folks. We see Jarrett Small coming off of pit road. And he gets himself, there he was about 2 laps down and just gets loose on those cold tires coming off of pit road. And, of course, as soon as you get sideways like that, iRacing.com, the algorithm suddenly decides that it's time to throw that caution. But that may open the door. That may open the door for what could be the money stop here on lap 119. And we're going to check in with our good friends down there on the infield. So stand by, folks. Here on top of Josh Ward's camper, driver of the number 1 Chevrolet, usually here in the Monday Night Xfinity Series, but it turns out that he found a case of beer, and here we sit on the infield watching this race. Guys, I'm guessing here with here on lap number 120, this is the money stop, ain't it?
How many sets of tires do you believe they got left?
Well, let's see. I'm guessing they were laying 4, so this should be, maybe some guys have 1 set left in their pocket, maybe.
There'll be another one after this. I won't worry too much about it. Hey, I'll go and bet 5 laps to go. We'll get another one.
Well, that's fair. I mean, listen, right now Clayton Davis sitting atop the pile on lap 119 with Bobby Blazer and Michael Overstreet. I mean, Overstreet just got overtaken that last round. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
Yeah. I had like 6 of those laced into the broadcast a few minutes ago. And I'm not even drinking alcohol yet.
No, we are here. And
are you?
Pass me down.
What's our? Can you pass me one of them?
Blue Moon.
Yeah, we got some cold. We got some cold Busch Lights.
Yeah, we got some Yingling. Ying is king.
Oh, we have Yingling. Well, then I'm fine. I'm home.
Or a Blue Moon or a hard seltzer kind of dude.
Yingling, the oldest brewery in America.
Yes, sir. 1829, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Of course, about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours north of where I live. I used to live like 15 minutes from there. Beautiful place. I mean, the town sucks, but the brewery's beautiful.
You chock full of facts.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
Here's the worst part, right? The Yuengling Brewery opens in 1829. It's so long ago, it's so old, that Abraham Lincoln, who was born in 1809, wasn't even old enough to drink at that point.
That's a regal nugget for you.
Yeah.
How's the broadcast going?
The broadcast is fabulous. Right now, the broadcast is proudly being brought to you by Ghost Energy, because that's what I'm drinking right now.
You need to get a Monster Energy.
No, it's all about Ghost.
You need to get an evaluation of what you're drinking, is what you do.
I've learned that I can't drink alcohol when I broadcast. It gets a little sloppy.
Yeah, I've been there. It doesn't work that well.
No, I mean...
Usually.
I mean, listen.
Man, I tried one of them A-Shock energies the other day, the tropical punch flavor, and it's pretty solid.
Actually, found a new, they call it a thirst quench or whatever the hell it's supposed to be, but...
Whoa. Why you can't speak like that?
No, that's a geographical location.
Not in some religions.
So Bob and I, when we went to Dover, the Dover Xfinity race was the A-Game 200 or something to that effect. And this A-Game sports drink, it's delicious. It's like natural stuff. And I don't really like natural. Like, I really like chemicals in my drinks.
That's...
Yeah, you gotta make sure you got enough preservatives in your food and your
That's
drinks.
what I'm talking
because
about.
If you ain't got enough preservatives, you'll die because it's preserving your body. You know what I mean? So
For as much crap as I put in my... It's fine. For as much crap as I put in my body, I mean, I should be embalmed before I'm dead. It's going to be great.
Oh, my God.
I like it. I like that attitude.
I'm with you, Dave. They put it in our food for a reason, and it's keeping me here for this long. It'll keep keeping me here for as long as I want it to.
Look, when I die, I just want people to be surprised that I made it as far as I did.
I've never rooted for a green flag more in my life than right now.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Let's go, Aaron Mack.
Thank you.
Of course, that was our infield pit party, and right now Clayton Davis taking off as we are back green flag racing on lap 123 of 150. So marching toward the end here is we're going to see the numbers of 150 changing to how many to go, probably in about 3 laps. But Clayton Davis, everybody coming in now on lap 119, 120, 115, 118. And one driver on 121 is Bob Nestor. So things have definitely shifted around now as Michael Overstreet and Mike Wright running in 3rd and 4th position, while Bobby Blazer still in 2nd. But the 41 car of Jack Ritchie now looking to get back in the dance, chasing down Carlos Ramos. These drivers not willing to put it away tonight, as a lot riding on the line. I mean, point standings tightening up with Mike Wright, Bobby Blazer, Dakota Cave sitting atop the point standings. And look where they are here as Bobby Blazer now back in the race lead, as it looks like he and Clayton Davis are going to be going at it with the torches and pitchforks here, as we are now on lap 125 going down the backstretch. And, you know, we can see here from the berm, these drivers not willing to give up any ground tonight. And quite frankly, who would blame here? So we are going to step aside and take a breather ourselves and let you folks hear the race and turn it up. These drivers not willing to give up any ground, as we were just watching the leaders swapping positions like they were playing Go Fish. And I'll tell you what, Mike Wright now sitting atop the pile, leading Bobby Blazer just exactly like they are in the point standings. Mike Wright running 1, Bobby Blazer running 2. Dakota Cave actually way back here in 9th position right now. He can't be happy with the performance that he's getting right now, as he is down 7 positions, having qualified P2 on the outside of row 1. But Ian Humphreys there in what appears to be 10th position right now, holding on for one more bonus there. Looks like one of my sim racing media partners in crime, Emily Urias, in our YouTube live chat. What's up, Emily? Of course, Emily also a driver, usually in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series, here with the Sunday Night NASCAR family of racing. And, something that's always important is, making sure that we're taking care of one another. So Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series, of course, broadcast at 8:30 p.m. in prime time on Sim Racing Media on Facebook and ESPN on YouTube. Then, of course, here on Monday nights, we have the Independence Racing Network bringing you the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series exclusively at 9 p.m. Then tomorrow, Tuesday Night Thunder Trucks will be over on Performance Motor Network. And those drivers tomorrow night going to also be here at Kansas, as these drivers, week in and week out, are just, they are so good, and they are worth a watch. I mean, sometimes you get into a race and it feels a little boring, or it feels a little stale, but nothing stale about that. Of course, this week, if you're looking for racing, you can always go over to Sim Racing Media or ESPN and check us out. Of course, Tuesday nights, Western States Racing League at 10 p.m., the All-American Racing League at 7:30. And if you're around during the day, the Night Shift Racing League running at noon. Of course, those are a bunch of drivers who are, second and third shifters that can't otherwise race like we do here at 9 o'clock at night as they're getting ready to go to work, come home from work, however it goes. And so they formed their own league that runs during the day. Then, of course, the Thunderclap Series at 8:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. Tony Trapasso and Mr. Frank Marchese, two of the absolute best in the business at the controls and microphones on a Wednesday night. Then the Ghost Cup Series, of course, Ghost Energy is what I'm consuming tonight at my microphone at 9:10 p.m. Then Thursday we do have a live stream game at 1 p.m. over there on ESPN and Sim Racing Media on Facebook. Then USRA at 7 p.m. I hate to be plugging everybody else, but I don't really do anything else here at the Independence Racing Network except for Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. Then Friday is Circle B Diecast at 8:30 p.m., followed by the Kool-Aid Monster Next Gen Cup Series at 9:30 p.m. Then this Saturday is a pretty big deal. May, of course, is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this month, the Sim Racing Media fundraising race will be supporting the Race Against the Stigma Mental Health Awareness 200. That's Saturday night, going to be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Make sure that you tune in there, or if you are a driver yourself, you can always register over at simracingmedia.com and get yourself into the race. It will be a fixed setup race, but check that out, as last time was a blast. I will not be there this time, as getting ready for vacation here in the summertime. And the IFL Series, Sundays on Sim Racing Media and ESPN, is an absolute banger of a day. It's a quadruple header. IFL is at 3:30 p.m., then ISNF, the Sunday Night Fever, is at 5:30 p.m., then the Fired Up Esports League at 7:30, and of course, in prime time at 8:30 p.m., is the Davis Brothers Roofing Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series, where you can hang out with, you can go watch those guys that we were just hanging out with on the infield with those Yinglings and Busch Lights, and, you can watch those guys go at it. So glad to be able to support our friends who support everything that we do. And, I got to tell you, these drivers, week in and week out, in all of these different leagues, put a lot of time and effort into what they're doing. And, speaking of time and effort, I mean, Jack Ritchie has been working his way up through the field. Carlos Ramos doing the same thing here, up 20 positions from where he had started. But things seem to have settled back out, as Mike Wright now has opened a 1.41 second lead over Bobby Blazer with 12 laps to go now at Kansas Speedway. Bobby Blazer in the number 90 car chasing him down, but a lot of distance. And right now it looks like the 41 and the 44 are going to be exchanging some paint here. I just want to run this back as that looks like it was getting pretty interesting there. It almost looks like they may have come together, and we're going to take just a quick look. And they do make some light contact, but not enough to upset anybody's car. So these guys obviously have gotten out the beaten sticks, and they're ready to start whacking each other through the window nets here in the closing laps of our race here at Kansas Speedway. Of course, we have gone through all of these laps. We're now gunning toward lap number 150 as stage 1 and 2 have completed. And finishing out these 225 miles is going to be exciting here. Maybe not necessarily at the front of this piece where Mike Wright and Bobby Blazer seem to have gone single file. But further back in the field, it looks like it's an all-out battle, especially as Brandon Minto chasing down now the 41 as Jack Ritchie sliding back even further. And maybe Brandon Minto and Ritchie could wind up working their way up to Clayton Davis in the 44. Of course, Clayton Davis did lead a few laps here. Right now it looks like Overstreet working the inside of Carlos Ramos, now securing 6th position away from Ramos, but Ramos not ready to be done yet as he gets to the inside of Overstreet and now slides up in front of him. So basically all they're doing is, I guess they decided that there's a hoedown after this race, and maybe they wanted to practice their do-si-do a little bit coming through the tri-oval with now 8 laps to go. And we see Overstreet working the outside of Ramos now. And it looks like Ramos going to go down to the apron and try to get some momentum so he can try to slide back up in front of Overstreet. Doesn't have the distance, scares Overstreet a little, who flinches and goes up to the wall. This is opening the door for Jeff Carson, who, to be completely honest, you know, he got annihilated early on in last night's Cup Series race, has done really well. And just like I had said earlier, there goes Carson around Ramos as we are 3 wide with Ramos being the meat. Ramos not backing out. Looks like he says, oh no, you're not taking this away from me. This could be dangerous as Carson now working the inside, trying to secure away that 6th position from Overstreet as he does wrest a little way from Carlos Ramos. These drivers coming through that back stretch there, now coming toward the back stretch here in the middle going into turn 3. Jeff Carson securing P6 away from Carlos Ramos, and now Michael Overstreet as well. Of course, your Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series Commissioner Bob Nestor running way back here in 17th, the last car on the lead lap. But, you know, to be completely honest, this field has really not gotten completely sideways tonight as, you know, sometimes you see these races where it doesn't take long for someone to start lapping cars like we saw last night in the Cup Series race. And here we are with Clayton Davis and Jack Ritchie side by side. Bobby Blazer way up here, and now Mike Wright opening up that gap. But I feel like here with 4 laps to go, this is going to be the one to watch as we're seeing Clayton Davis and Jack Ritchie going at it. And it looks like Ritchie backing off of Davis just a hair in that Blue Moon number 44 Blue Oval Ford. So the Blue Oval Ford and the Blue Moon machine in that double 4. Running down into turn 3, gets another edge here, but not enough to get around the 41 Midnight Moon Chevrolet of Jack Ritchie. But of course the lap car, oh my, that's not a lap car, that's Bobby Blazer. Bobby Blazer now falling back just a little bit with 3 to go, gets into the back. Whoa, we're 3 wide. 3 wide with 3 to go. Bobby Blazer, the meat in this sandwich, not willing to give that up. Now he is chasing down Jack Ritchie, as he said, that was my podium, and I'm not giving it up early now. Mike Wright has set sail. He's not even worried about these drivers with nearly a 3-second lead. Bobby Blazer not afraid to take it 3 wide as he is holding Jack Ritchie on the high side. 2 to go now as they cross the stripe yet again. Bobby Blazer now going down to try to steal some of the air off the 44 of Clayton Davis, and now drifts up. It's like he's stealing the air from Davis and Ritchie simultaneously. He's going from high to low, side drafting the bejesus out of these drivers, and he's looking for an opening as it looks like Ritchie and Davis are trying to take that podium away from Bobby Blazer. Blazer now trying to get back into third as we have the white flag in the air. And it looks like Jack Ritchie running away with second position. Now it's going to be up to Clayton Davis to hold off Bobby Blazer as Blazer gets Davis loose and sends Davis down. Oh, man, Blazer gets Davis loose, sends him down to the apron. That opens the door for Brandon Minto to hold off Bobby Blazer as Bobby Blazer looks angry. But Jeff Carson enters the frame here as Minto. Oh, and Bobby Blazer and Jeff Carson get into it just as they cross the start-finish line. That allows Brandon Minto to seal the deal for that third position on the podium. Jeff Carson cannot be a happy camper as he is bringing that Napa Auto Parts number 9 Toyota Supra back onto the asphalt. But Mike Wright, your race winner, ran away with it as if he had stolen a bag full of money from the bank. Jack Ritchie in second, Brandon Minto in third, Bobby Blazer in fourth has jumped to the pits. Jeff Carson limping that number 9 Napa Auto Parts Toyota Supra back to pit road rounds out your top 5. What a race, what a finish to the race, folks, as we are going to step aside and pay some bills while I catch my breath. In 2007, Ray Regal had a vision of serving his fellow firefighters' breathing air needs better. As a City of Reading firefighter since 1975, he knows the difficulties of finding the best and most affordable service company to care for and manage the most important means of survival firefighters have, breathing air. Northeastern Fire and Air is committed to providing our brothers and sisters with the best service in the industry and at an affordable cost. For more information, call 610-207-6608 for a consultation today and know that you can breathe easy with Northeastern Fire and Air.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And folks, welcome back to Kansas City, Kansas, here at the Kansas Speedway. And right now we want to bring in our race winner, Mike Wright. Mike Wright, Dave Regal up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, brother? Hey, man, listen, heck of a win tonight as you were up there with torches and pitchforks all night long. I mean, my God, you were killing it, brother.
Yes. Yeah, we as a team, we brought it again tonight, and I tell you, I didn't have a car I thought I was going to win with about halfway through the race, and we kept pitting. I don't think I pitted without changing something on the car, and we got it working there at the end, and I knew I had to get in front and try to hold them off and set a pace that maybe they couldn't run with or overdrive a little bit. And you know, if that's what happened to make it happen, we'll go with it. And then here we go. We finished the race. I got my boys with me.
Absolutely, man. I mean, listen, we were just, you know, all of us that were watching, of course, you had a bunch of our Cup Series drivers. Whoop, sorry for that graphical problem. We had a bunch of our Cup Series drivers on the on the infield tonight watching you, and I mean, man, you and Jack Ritchie is definitely our surprise. Of course, Brandon Minto, you and Bobby Blazer were going at it all night. I mean, it's almost like our entire top 5 of the points standings were basically the way that it looks like it should be. You know, with you, of course, atop the pile. So, heck of a run tonight. And before we let you go, anybody that you'd like to tip your cap to and thank for this effort tonight?
As always, got my man Larry spotting during the race, and then Brandon and Jack, them coming in. We bounced some talks off in practice about what to do with the cars, and it apparently worked. So we'll keep doing that.
All right, man. Well, listen, congratulations. Get on down there and give us some donuts as we get ready to go talk to our buddy Jack Ritchie. That was, of course, our race winner, Mike Wright, in the number 98. We see him getting ready to take off and celebrate here at the start-finish line. You know, these drivers all night long were going at it like crazy. And, I mean, you know, Mike Wright deserves every bit of this win that he gets. As, there goes the engine as he's popped that bad boy. But as he pops that engine, we turn our attention to Jack Ritchie, who finishes second. Jack Ritchie, Dave Regal up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, listen, heck of a run. Up 13 positions from where you started in 15th. I mean, you must have had that car on rails all night.
Yeah, I mean, I passed more than 13 for sure. I think I passed about 50, it felt like. But, yeah, it came to me in practice a little bit. It felt pretty good, and then made a little bit of an adjustment. And then for the race, just was flying. I was just trying to really protect the right front. And early in the run, that's why I was running the bottom. And then, you know, later in the run, I could just rip the high side. Yeah, it worked out for a P2 tonight. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, you did amazing. I mean, you know, of course, it does feel like 50 when it feels, you know, sometimes you're drifting back. You come forward. You probably did pass 50, maybe 150 cars. I mean, you beat the brakes off of everybody to get to where you are. And you definitely deserve to be standing here on that second step of the podium, as I know you really wanted to see if you could give Mike Wright a run for his money, but he just had, you know, a 3-second gap between you and him. So kind of hard to hold on there. But before we cut you loose, anybody that you want to tip your cap to and thank for this run tonight?
Yeah, just Mike with helping me with the setup, and then Minto in third. Team Ferda finished 1, 2, 3. Done that a few times on the truck side on Tuesday nights, and it's pretty cool to do it over here. So, yeah, just we're bringing good stuff to the track every week. I can't be mad at it.
All right, man. Well, listen, you go celebrate that second place finish there on the podium, and we'll cut you loose. So appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
That was our second place finisher, Jack Ritchie, and now we move on to the man, the myth, the legend, Brandon Minto, driver of the number 12 Chevrolet, who got it done tonight and managed to basically navigate the mayhem on the last 3 laps and get himself here onto that bottom step of the podium, but the podium nonetheless. Brandon Minto, Dave Regal up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, man, listen, great run tonight. The Norman, Oklahoma native we have here with us. I mean, how did you get all the way up here to where you did? I mean, you know, and keep it basically clean all night long.
Mike gave us a great setup. Like, he had been working on it all week. He gave us a good setup that we knew we could drive well. It was very stable. So I just knew in practice the whole time I was just working on qualifying runs. I ended up qualifying P5, I believe it was. So I just wanted to be near the front because I knew that we had a setup that would be able to keep us there, and turned out it did.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, you had a bunch of Cup drivers from Sunday Night NASCAR watching from the infield. They had a cooler of beer on top of a camper there on the infield, and they were impressed with everything they were seeing tonight. I mean, the competition here at the Xfinity level is absolutely fierce. I mean, you guys are fire every week. I mean, congratulations, man, on getting yourself here onto the podium. Of course, yeah, you did qualify P5, which, you know, for anybody is tough to do, especially here in open setups. As, you know, of course, open setups are more about the engineer who built the setup, not always about the driver, you know. So, you know, obviously you had everything going for you as that was dialed in. So congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It was definitely a fun night driving driving up against the wall all night. It was definitely it was fun. Kept you on your toes the whole night.
Oh yeah, listen, it makes for some exciting racing, and we definitely had it here in the Xfinity Series. And before we cut you loose, is there anybody that you'd like to tip your cap to and thank for this run tonight?
Yeah, first off, my parents, they're always out here watching any race I do. So hi, Mom, hi, Dad. Like, thanks for watching and tuning in. I want to give a thanks to you for putting on a great broadcast. So I love going back and rewatching the races. I want to thank Team Ferda for getting, it's impressive. We got 1, 2, 3 this tonight. I was thinking it was going to be about a 1, 2, 5 or something around there, but I ended up lucking out. But yeah, Team Ferda, Jack and Mike, we did our thing tonight. And then I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Get Upside. So go ahead, download the app with the raising gas prices. If you download the Upside app, use the promo code Brandon5623344, and it'll give you an additional discount on gas off your first tank. So gas prices are getting high, so you might as well download that app and use that promo code.
All right, man. Hey, listen, and everybody out there, make sure that you do download the app. Use that promo code, and if you missed it, you can always, thank God that we're on YouTube. You can run that back and copy it down. So, Brandon, listen, congratulations on that podium finish, and we'll cut you loose. We appreciate you, brother, and I appreciate the kind words for the broadcast.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, folks, we have another one in the books. Next week, we look forward to going to Texas. Of course, in the Cup Series, we're going to be having our All-Star race. Of course, one of our drivers here, Dakota Cave, getting a lot of love there for the fan vote in Cup Series. So, we'll see what happens for the All-Star race. But, of course, here we'll be getting ready to just run out there and lay some laps down and go at it with the torches and pitchforks next Monday night at Texas Motor Speedway. So, going to take a look here at your final grid here of what happened. And, you look here at this final result, and it really doesn't do it justice. I mean, what an exciting race we had here at Kansas Speedway. And glad that RS Button Boxes, Butt Kicker, and Northeastern Fire and Air are able to come together and support us here. But congratulations to Mike Wright, your race winner, who was followed by Jack Ritchie and Brandon Minto on the podium. Bobby Blazer comes in fourth, and Jeff Carson, after that kerfuffle with Blazer on the final lap, manages still to finish top 5. Carlos Ramos in sixth. Clayton Davis, Michael Overstreet, Dakota Cave, and Ian Humphreys in the number 32 Toyota Supra round out your top 10. Chris Claude, your Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series commissioner, finishes in 11th in front of Aaron Mack, Corey Burkert, J.B. Banner, and Matthew Hellman 15th. Brad Gunn and Bob Nestor, as well as John Bawalda, finishing in 18th. And Chad Sanner in the number 59 Chevrolet finishes 19th. Jared Small rounds out your top 20 in the number 17 Chevrolet. R.P. Allen, who had won one of our stages tonight in the 03 Toyota, finishes 21st. Jeff O'Rourke, Frederick Seagraves, Kavaja Holt in the 00 Blue Oval Ford, and Bennett Allen round out your top 25. Zach Osborne, Eugenio Alonso, Zachary Vaughn, and Doug Argabright, who had only logged 3 laps before getting off the track tonight, finishes 29th. So lots of action here, as always, in your Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. And like I said, this is some of the best racing that you are going to see at any level on iRacing.com, especially here in the Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series, or in the Sunday Night NASCAR family of racing series, as these drivers, week in and week out, putting the work in, and they deserve all of the adoration and all of the respect that you could give a single person. So for everybody here at the Independence Racing Network, everybody that was on track tonight in Monday Night NASCAR's Xfinity Series, we thank you, as we are proudly brought to you by Northeastern Fire and Air, RS Button Boxes, and Butt Kicker. I'm Dave Regal, and here I am getting ready to be on vacation, but I still need to tell you folks that tomorrow, as you go through your day, make sure that you find one happy thought, one good moment, and you hold on to that moment, and you enjoy that moment. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a good night.